Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Reach out to me directly by email at tmosso@thewatchbox.com. Today, we're discussing the Kurono Tokyo 2nd Anniversary Toki, a 37mm mid-century modern-inspired watch from Hajime Asaoka. It's his design vision, and of course you'll recognize that name as he is a master of bespoke haute de gamme. Well, this is his way of building a watch that's more broadly accessible, albeit rare. The watch is not expensive, it is hard to obtain. Now the watch is 37mm in diameter in stainless steel, 11.3mm thick, and 43.7mm from lug tip to lug tip, meaning across the wrist it's approximately the distance of a Datejust 36 without the bracelet, and it has universally used 20mm spacing between the lugs that allows you to use many different aftermarket and OEM straps. Now the watch fits beautifully on my wrist of 16 centimeters circumference. Again, he's drawing from the best traditions of mid-century modernism and mid-century Swiss dress watches, and a lot of those were quite compact, generally built between 32 and 36mm in men's sizes. A little bit bigger at 37, this has a nice presence, but it remains a viable unisex option, suitable for a wrist as small as 13 centimeters circumference. This is a glorious timepiece for him or for her, and as you can see, easily viable with a tight sleeve or dress cuff. Taking a quick look at the hardware and the software, you can see right here, this is the factory strap, brand new, uncrimped, ungouged, fairly thick cut, a wonderfully buttery calfskin leather with a lightly contrasting gray stitch. It is an anthracite color, somewhere between gray and black. It's substantial, as you can see the layers of leather used, and then it terminates in a lovely, simple, and period-correct polished steel pin buckle. The case is graceful. You can see just how spare the lugs are when viewed from head on. Very, very thin, and they taper to a point in profile. There's a compound curve here that's more than a little bit reminiscent of the Rolex Datejust, I'm not going to lie, and true to the period that it references, we have an unbranded, polished dome-style crown with a sharp knurling. What appears at first glance to be plexiglass is a dramatically cambered sapphire to create that pleasing off-axis distortion you get with a thermoplastic crystal from the middle of the 20th century, and then quite a few handsome elements on the dial. You have the applique indices at the quarters, and then you have these lovely polished gadroons. You'll see the same effect, or at least an attempt at the same effect, on the original Omega DeVille Hour Vision. This is altogether a lot more successful. A handsome rose metallic dial with a lovely typeface used for the automatic script. Normally, I prefer not to see advertising or specs or mechanical condition of the watch on the dial side. I like to keep that stuff a little bit more subtle, but it is true to the period when automatic winding was still a big deal. That would have been something of which a brand would boast. It would be on the dial. Now you can see we have both kanji and in English, Bunkyo Tokyo, and of course that's the name of the ward where Asaoka's design atelier is located, so this is a reference to where the watch comes from. Of course, he works at the top of high horology, and his watches cost 5-6 figures. Well, this watch sold for the low thousands, the low 1,000 range when it was originally offered, specifically offered on May 21st of 2021 at 2300 Japanese Standard Time, and then only for 10 minutes, and that was the period of offering, and that was the period in which it sold out. Now, as you can see, a glorious case on the reverse side, the name of the maker, and Precision Watch Co. is the umbrella company he created. It's not a big one that encompasses his design work, Kurono Tokyo, as well as his Asaoka brand high-end watches. You can see it is proudly made in Japan, 30 meters water resistant, which is appropriate for a dress watch, and yes, 24 jewels. What has 24 jewels? Well, Miyota 90S5. It is a Japanese-made movement, automatic with a 40-hour power reserve, 24 jewels, a 4 hertz or 8 beat per second rate, and it does include stop seconds. This is a glorious way to enjoy something with tremendous street cred, awesome design, and enduring appeal from one of the modern masters of watchmaking globally. Not just a great Japanese watch, but a great design by any standard. This is a fantastic timepiece that looks good anywhere on any wrist. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for pricing details.